sir.
Yes.
Sir, is it okay to include bar charts in the background information?
Yeah, that's okay. But anyway, if it is directly relevant, you can do that. That's good.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning, Ratna Bhushan. Yeah. Niroshini.
Sir, is it possible to change my topic?
Yes. Because that has not been approved so far. You may talk to me at the end of the lecture.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Niroshini? Okay, yeah. You want to talk to me, Niroshini? Right.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning, Taranga.
Sir, I have a small question about conceptual framework. Can I ask more questions, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, the conceptual when we are making conceptual framework, especially the experimental type research, like for example, experimental group and control group like that. So how can we form conceptual framework for like these experimental type research? Because there are two sides we have to mention.
Yeah, two sides means one side the independent variables, the other side what you test. Give me an example, I will tell you the variables.
Okay, sir. The experimental group is for the experimental group.
No, whatever the experimental group or whatever it is,
Yeah.
what is your objective?
Sir, the child-centered education and sir, my question is when we are research conducting in a comparison type, so when we are going to compare some.
Yeah, what is your objective? It depends on the objective.
Yeah, sir, child-centered education, when we are compare the child-centered education and teacher-centered education on development of writing skills like that research.
Then you can take one side, writing skills. Okay?
Okay, sir.
The other side, factors, you can have two boxes, child-centered factors, teacher-centered factors. So what factors have you selected, like attitudes of the children or the group work or whatever? You can include in the other side. So you are comparing these, whether they contribute to develop the writing skills.
A child-centered like communication, group work, those factors.
Yeah, that's right. They can be included on the left side. Right side, the writing skills. And you can have you can have the child-centered box separately and teacher-centered box separately. On the left side. Right side, you will have overall writing performance.
As a separate type, we can compare child-centered and teacher-centered.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir?
Yeah.
So how about for online teaching, if I use with technology and then without, will that be okay?
Yeah, on the right side, quality of online education.
Okay.
On the left side, what factors, specific objectives.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let me start. Yes. Good morning, everybody. We will start. You can hear me properly, ne?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, Idris Singh. Last time you were not, I am late. Yeah. Screen visible, Idris Singh, or anybody? My screen is visible.
Visible, sir.
Yeah.
We can see the screen.
Okay, thank you, Ramzan. So you are quite free to disturb me and ask me questions. I have told you sudden breakdown is like you may stay in the meeting for about 5 minutes. And today specifically, lecture may stop at any time without notice. Lightning and because of lightning, lecture may stop at any time without giving any prior notice. So in such instance, yeah, please understand that I may withdraw from the meeting. You also may withdraw from the meeting at any time. Do not take a risk. If you have renamed last name, that is fine. You may take down anything important. Now you know how we have the lectures. You may take down anything important. And always think about what you hope to do as your research, and at the same time understand the fundamental principles of research. Your assignment is given. I have explained to you the assignment clearly. Guidelines have been given. A tentative format has been given, but you can change the format slightly. These are essential parts in the proposal, but you can incorporate some other parts as well, like previous research. If you like, you can use it under background or separately. So if you have any question about writing this proposal first, not the administrative questions like when and how you upload and all, that is administrative. The coordinator will provide you the details. I am asking you the academic content. Academic things. Some of you have now already asked me about the conceptual framework and all. If anybody wants to ask anything about the assignment, okay, I will proceed further. Your writing style is very important. I'm telling you once again, academic writing style. I explained to you what this academic writing style is. It is the most important aspect. Particularly your impersonal style. Do not say that I will conduct. Use the passive form. Maintain impersonal tone. No redundancies, unnecessary words. When we think about the all nonsense, unnecessary words which will waste your space. So no such redundancies. Logical tone rather than you personal beliefs. Support everything with evidence from various government reports, other researchers' findings. So your next step, your proposal presentation. Be ready for that. Prepare your slides and be ready for presentation. Last time Fatima presented one. I have given you, explained to you the guidelines for preparation of these slides and conducting the presentation. The slides, I have given you instructions. Any question about the presentation? Don't ask me about the date and all. That is administrative. I'm asking about the content, academic content. If any question with regard to the academic part of the presentation, not about the date and the other information, they will be provided by the university. If you have any question, you can raise.
So do we need to open our video? Switch on the video?
The university will ask you, okay, we will compromise it, negotiate it, right? If you have problems, etc., we will be able to negotiate that. Yeah, generally the university as a rule will ask you, because the university wants to make it, I mean, to ensure authenticity, but we will consider the situation, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So during the previous lectures, Nishma, can we have a sample research proposal? Now it is too late. When are you supposed to submit your thesis?
20th April.
Sorry?
On the 20th of April.
20th.
Yes.
Yes. How can I send it to you? If you...
So you can share it with the coordinator and he can forward that to us.
You can even send it through chat, sir.
Yeah, so we can download it.
No, chat, I am unable to send it now because I have not taken it into my... Now I am unable to, but within one day I will be able to, but how can I share it? How can I share coordinate? Who is the coordinator?
Mr. Ajit?
Sorry?
Mr. Ajit is our coordinator.
Mr. Ajit.
Yeah.
I will... Okay. By Monday, you will speak to Mr. Ajit. After Monday, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. By Monday, I will send a copy. You may speak to Mr. Ajit after Monday and he will share it, right?
Sir, for us,
You could have
Miss
asked me earlier.
Sir, for Candy, Miss Anusha.
Who is... which...
The Candy branch is also Candy batch.
Okay. I will...
Sir, for Ratnapura, Miss Shammi.
Right. You may speak to them after Monday, right? Miss Anusha, Miss Shammi and Mr. Ajit, right? You may speak to them after Monday, right? Okay. So during the previous lectures, we have discussed about the variables. You are able to define a variable, able to identify different types of variables. What is a dependent variable? You are able to explain. It is the change, the result, outcome. The result which is brought about, the change that is brought about by the independent variable. Giving examples, you are able to explain. How to form variables. So through the concepts, operationalization of the concepts. So that is operationalization is the process of converting concepts into measurable variables. How to convert a proposition into a hypothesis, we discussed. We discussed the formulation of conceptual framework in a simple manner. So we are able to answer the questions. What is a variable? What are the types of variables? Independent, dependent, extraneous. What do you mean by the process of operationalization? I have made a mistake spelling. What is conceptual framework? So we have discussed, we are able to investigate quantitatively, qualitatively. Triangulation. We are using several methods to investigate one research question. Apart from the post-test information, we conduct interviews with the selected participants. Then we distribute a questionnaire so that from different sources, information will be collected to investigate one research question, triangulation. So through a pre-test, post-test, questionnaire, interview, etc., the same research question can be interpreted, can be investigated. So you are able to describe the differences between qualitative, quantitative research or experimental survey research. You are able to describe different research tools, the advantages of questionnaires, interviews. Then we discuss the sample size, sample and population difference. So sampling techniques, probability sample means every individual has an equal chance of being selected into the sample from the population. Non-probability, there is no such equal opportunity. From probability sampling techniques, we have discussed simple random sample, systematic random sample, cluster or stratified. The advantage of randomization is that we are able to draw generalizations that will increase the external validity. And you may randomize when you are selecting the participants or when you assign the participants into different groups. That will help to cancel out the effects of extraneous variables we discussed. We discussed different techniques for non-probability sampling, convenience, purposive, extreme case, etc. Before today's lecture, what is this? I just want to get a feedback whether you have understood. Which of the following terms best describes deliberate selection of particular participants of the population for constituting a sample which represents the population? What is the answer?
Purposive sampling.
Random sampling.
Probability sampling.
Purposive sampling.
Are you sure?
Sir,
Random sampling.
purposive sampling, sir.
Yeah, why do you say Chanaka purposive?
Because we select, where they give a productive answer for research.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Fatima, good.
We believe that we receive the most accurate answers, and for the research we are conducting, that we can rely on that.
According to the question, why do you say it is correct?
Particular participant, because it's a particular participant.
Particular participants, there is another
No,
word.
sir, it's deliberate, sir. Deliberate.
Deliberate.
Deliberate means that.
Deliberate. That means it can't be probability, right, Fatima, Chanak? Good. Right, it is a deliberate sample. We intentionally select. Deliberately means intentional. So that it can't be probability or random or stratified. It is purposive sample. Good. This one. A researcher wants to investigate the opinions of science teachers in Kandy district about the new biology book. He selects 20 science teachers whom he has close contact with from 30 science teachers working in Mamaya Girls School. This sampling technique can be best described as
Probability sampling.
Non-probability convenience.
Non-probability.
Non-probability convenience.
Yeah, why? Why,
Because,
Fatima or anybody?
they say
Fatima, why?
close contact.
Oh, because he does not select any, everyone does not have equal opportunity. You are right, good. So the ones who have only close contact, so it is non-probability. Refers to the extent to which a research measures what we actually wish to measure.
Reliability.
Question, is it reliability?
Validity.
It's validity, sir.
Yeah, Chanaka, why? Explain.
Validity refers to the extent of which research measures. That means
Yeah.
in research, the outcome should be the things that we expected. Rather, if there is not the expectation or beyond the expectation, there is no validity of the research, sir.
Yeah, exactly. That is, we base the research on the objectives. So it is validity. You are right. Okay, thank you. As I have told you earlier, lecture may stop at any time without notice. I'm giving this information to the those who join late because of the condition. I will continue. So today's lecture, we will learn the preparation of the questionnaire in the first part. After that, we will consider the classroom observation in action research. And as time permits, we will proceed on to interpret and abstract in research. They will be the learning outcomes of the lecture today. So first, the questionnaire. I know that most of you prepare questionnaires. So be ready. Be ready that you are preparing it very effectively. How? Up to now, I would like to remind you, first of all, we are now able to identify a problem. As soon as you identify a problem, you propose a solution. So that is actually your title. You have spoken to me about your title, or I have sent you emails. So based on that problem, we formulate objectives. You have general objectives, you have specific objectives. You can do that for any research, not only for your research. You possess that understanding. After that, you know other things pertaining to the objectives, variables, identify them. How you operationalize your concepts into variables and formulate your hypothesis. You know, based on this, how you formulate your research questions, conceptual framework. When these things are done, next step, you select your sample. We discussed how you deal with the process of selecting the sample. After you select the sample, do not always think that my students are my sample. There are various other ways to investigate the phenomenon. Perhaps you may be able to distribute a questionnaire among 100, apart from your class students. So your class students, that don't tell us at the Viva, very sorry that we have 10 students in my class. So I am doing my research with only these 10 students. I have spoken about the sample. So think about different sources to get information. After you select your sample, sometimes you may have to design your questionnaire. Design your questionnaire. So that will be the next step. If you are conducting survey-based research, questionnaire, or else even if it is an experimental study, after the experiment, you can distribute a questionnaire to come to know the opinions of the participants. How to form this? The next stage is then questionnaire. So that's
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Good.
So when we get the data or information from the school, can we take the private institute and government both?
Yeah. There, all right. I did not discriminate anything, right?
Okay.
I didn't, right? You logically argue whether it is okay. You logically argue. For example, If you think for my research, I will take students of this school, parents of another school. Never mind.
Okay,
Right?
sir.
See always how they should not be. I mean, if you take here Sri Lankan students and some other students from some other country, maybe there are several extraneous factors that so minimize them, and based on that you select your sample. There are no limitations. So, but anyway, if you are doing that, mention that in your thesis, mention that in your proposal. These are limitations. For example, only 10 students were available. Therefore, one limitation is another sample was taken from another school. That you can describe that, and after describing, you can select.
Sorry
Okay.
for the interruptions again. I have another
No.
question. Sir, could you please describe the difference between thesis, dissertation, and research?
Or I mean,
Dissertation and thesis, especially.
yeah, shall we take that later? Still, we are doing the proposal, but basically,
Basically, sir, in a word.
yeah, basically, thesis, the word, it is only the definition. Thesis, it is alternatively used, but thesis implies something at length. So it is for your purpose, it is better to call dissertation rather than a thesis because it is limited. Thesis can be, I mean, for postgraduate studies and for your PhDs, right? It is a matter of definition of the terms, but for you, the dissertation, the basic difference. Okay, Chanaka?
My pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, right. So, yeah. So collecting, the next stage is collecting data. So when collecting data, what is necessary is the preparation of the questionnaire. So in the first part of the lecture today, we will deal with how you prepare an effective questionnaire. So it is maybe questionnaire is the only tool that you use in your research. For some others, it will be one tool which is used along with other tools to triangulate. For example, in an experimental study, you may give a post-test. In addition, you will give a question. But for some others, it will be the only tool, no other tool. Fine, good. Questionnaire can be the only tool that you use in your research, fine, okay. Or some of the others, they will use a questionnaire along with other research tools like interview or post-test or whatever. So why do we use questionnaires? Obvious answer is to get information. Basically, what type of information? What do you get? You measure the attitudes. Questionnaire will help us identify or measure the attitudes of the other people. What do you mean by attitudes? What is an attitude?
Their idea towards a certain
Oh,
thing.
Chaturika, idea. What do you mean by idea?
How they feel that reading would help them in their
Exactly.
writing.
Fatima, repeat it. Good. How they
feel that reading will help them in their improving their writing skills.
right. How they feel. So how they react. How the participants react. Maybe they will react favorably, or maybe they will react unfavorably. How What is your attitude about the visual aids? Favorable, good. Unfavorable, no, not useful. So this comes from one's belief, one's feelings, as Fatima pointed out. So I mean, how can we measure the feelings? That is the problem. Example, teacher's unfavorable attitude towards the new textbook. Your new textbook is of no use. So that is his attitude. How can we measure? Can we measure it? Feelings? Can we measure the feelings? Example, love. Love is a feeling. Can we measure it?
But through certain questions, we can kind of come to a,
Oh yeah, I'm asking Fatima. I know that. But, right? I'm directly asking, can we measure the feelings or not?
No, cannot. It is subjective.
Okay. Anybody who opposes Fatima's view? We can measure. We can measure. Attitudes are evaluative. Actually, we feel like Fatima's answer is correct. We can't measure the feelings. We are unable to measure the feelings. But in research, we find a way to measure them. We are able to measure. We are able to measure. If you cannot measure them, we cannot use them in scientific research. So we need to find a way to measure the attitudes. So we can use attitudes in both qualitative and quantitative research. Qualitative research, for example, interview. You can use subjective questions, open-ended questions, as Fatima pointed out, subjective. Why do you like the textbook? So they will give a lot of information. It has good outlook and printing is fine and the language is user-friendly. Why do you like the textbook? They will give so many answers. Subjective. You can analyze qualitatively. I am not going to discuss that. But these open-ended questions, I don't say they are bad, they are weak, no. But difficult to measure them statistically. Difficult to measure them statistically. In quantitative research, we cannot use them. I did not say they are bad. Therefore, to measure them in quantitative research. In quantitative research, to measure them, we use a questionnaire. Our questions must be objective. What do you mean by objective questions? Close-ended questions. Close-ended questions. We'll see how we formulate them. So how to prepare the questionnaire to measure the attitudes? Measure the attitudes. To evaluate the attitudes scientifically. We use 4 types of techniques or 4 types of questions to measure attitudes in a questionnaire. They are scaling, ranking, sorting, choosing. We'll understand each one so that we are able to prepare a good questionnaire. Good questionnaire with the close-ended questions so that we can measure the attitudes quantitatively. Quantitatively we can measure. We will see how we can do it there are 4 types of questions. Actually, 4 types of techniques to prepare questions in the questionnaire. Scaling, ranking, sorting, choosing. They are the methods of measuring attitudes. First one, scaling. Scaling. Under scaling, there are 3 types of scales. Actually, I don't say 3 types, there are different types. I have selected 3 types of scaling. 3 types of scales to measure attitudes. How do we prepare the question? So there are 3 scaling methods. I don't say 3 scaling methods, there are different scaling methods. I have selected 3 scaling methods. 1, semantic scale measurement. Semantic scale measurement. Example. You give a short sentence. Rate the validity of the year-end test paper. You give this question to a group of teachers. Rate the validity of the year-end test paper. They will rate it. So on one hand, you have valid, and on the other hand, you have not valid. In between, you have 5 boxes. So the teachers will rate. So it is a scale. If a teacher selects something closer to box number 2, that is closer to valid. So it is not extremely valid, but considerably valid. Not moderate, above moderate. So we can measure there are 100 teachers will say. Another teacher will scale, or another question, semantic scale. Rate the usefulness of the textbook for the paper, question paper. What is your rate? Usefulness of the textbook to the question paper. So one teacher will select a box closer to low. That means she is not satisfied. Her attitude is negative. Not moderate. Moderate means the middle one. Below moderate, closer to low. So we have 100 teachers. Then we can select how many teachers out of 100. Highly agreed. Highly useful, 8. Only 8 teachers. Moderate, 40. 28% closer to low. Altogether 40% closer to low, whereas only 20% closer to high. So we can assume that the textbook is not useful. We can make interpretations, we can measure the attitudes of the teachers towards the textbook. One technique is the semantic scale measurement. Semantic scale measurement. Therefore, when you are preparing the questionnaire, don't merely ask, what is your attitude about the textbook? Open-ended. So many things you cannot measure. We will see very specifically how we measure the attitudes. Or rate the usefulness of the textbook. Here, if you get after you analyze, if you select, 66%, very high. That means the textbook is very useful for the year-end test paper. So we can calculate the frequencies and measure the attitudes. We can come to conclusion. So when we prepare the questionnaire, we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful to select the questions in such a way that we are able to measure the attitudes. So I told you that semantic scale, clear. Why? Here we have two ends. The participants will rate. Within the two ends, there are 5 boxes. One end high, the other end low. You can include about 5-10 questions based on the semantic scale. I don't say that 5-10, it's up to you, right? It's up to you. Or sometimes you may not include semantic scale questions. The second scale in method is the Likert scale in questions. Likert scale in questions. What are they? They are all scaling methods. 3 scaling methods I have introduced. Semantic scale, Likert scale, staple scale. Likert scale, that is, Likert scale measurement means you are giving a very short sentence. The year-end test paper is reliable. The students can't understand this one. Teachers can understand. So you are if you are giving it to the teachers, this is okay. But for the students, this is not good. So you have to reword the sentence. A short sentence is given. After the sentence, scale. What is the Likert scale? Strongly agree, disagree. Sorry, strongly disagree, disagree, undecided, agree, strongly disagree. Again, a scale, just like the semantic scale. So according to the type of question, you may have semantic scale or Likert scale. This is the Likert scale question. This is the Likert scale question. So that we measure the level of agreement. Now, see another Likert scale question. The year-end test paper is easy, but time is not enough. Strongly agree, agree, undecided, disagree, strongly disagree. What is your comment about this question? Anybody? Anybody?
They want to
Undecided.
get a negative idea, negative point.
So how about undecided?
We can even direct this to students, isn't it? Not only teachers.
We can give it to the students, ne? We
Yes,
can give it to the students as well as to the teachers.
teachers.
I want to highlight one other point. I will simplify the question.
There are two. I mean, test paper is easy and time is not enough.
Exactly. Good. Explain, Fatima. Very good.
I mean, when they are scaling, if the test paper is difficult to someone, they are going to find it difficult to scale it. Give a comment on this.
Why? I didn't understand.
Because there are two variables. Test paper is easy, time is not
Exactly.
enough.
Exactly. There are two variables. Very good, Fatima, in the same statement. Test paper is easy or difficult. One thing, time enough or not, another thing. So when you decide, strongly agree means whether time is enough or if test paper is difficult but the time is enough. For something like that, you can't select a. So this type of question is weak. It is double-barreled question. It is an ambiguous question or double-barreled question because the participants cannot, they are unable to select precisely. So this is a weak question for Likert scale measurement. Another example, I like the new textbook because it includes interesting activities. So there are two variables once again in the sentence. You like the textbook, one thing, inclusion of the interesting activities, another thing. You cannot select. Therefore, this is a weak question. Double-barreled question. We should not include such double-barreled questions in the Likert scale measurement. So, scaling methods, I have described semantic scale, Likert scale. Now I am going to deal with the other one that is also scale. So same, similar, staple. Here the difference is 10 response categories are given. They are numerically labeled. Reliability of the end test paper. So teacher can, this question can be given to teachers because students don't understand what is meant by reliability. So if this question is given to a group of teachers, reliability of the test paper, very short, very brief, only 1 point. Teachers can rate whether agrees very well, selected 5. Disagreed, selecting -5. In between, selecting any other. So staple scale, it will give more accurate, but it can be little bit confusing, complicated. But will give very accurate scale if properly done. 10 response categories are given, labeled with numerical values. So you can analyze, when you analyze how many of them, +5, -5. So you can calculate the percentage frequencies, percentage values. So I have described 3 scaling types: semantic scale, Likert scale, staple scale. Now I am going to take the second type of questions. The second technique that can be employed to construct questions to measure attitudes. That is ranking. So here I will explain what ordinal scale later. Ranking attributes. You merely indicate only an attribute. Example, ELT curriculum in Sri Lanka. That is all. The participants will rank. Another example. Rank the following resources according to their availability in your educational division. So to measure several attributes, you will take human resources, IT facilities, modern classrooms, audio equipment, textbook. All these things are related to ELT curriculum. So you get the participants to rank. Here, they will select textbook availability number 1. IT facilities are also available, but not like textbooks, number 2. Number 3, human resources are available. The weakest one is modern classroom. So you can calculate the frequencies. This is ranking. So you can take other attributes. Example, textbooks. You decide what attributes are important. Has an elegant appearance, well designed, includes a lot of activities. You ask the participants to rank grade 10, 9, 8, 7. So has an elegant appearance. They will rank. Elegant appearance, grade 8 textbook is very, very beautiful. Number 1. The weakest one is grade 7. They will write, they will rank. So this ranking is another technique that can be used to measure attitudes. You will get statistics, numerals. You can calculate and measure the attitudes. Measure the attitudes. See how we prepare the questionnaire to measure the attitudes. Do not merely include what is your attitude about the textbook. So many things you can't analyze systematically. There are advantages of open-ended questions, right? I do not underestimate, but this is another reliable method to analyze or attitudes of the participants. The third technique, the third type of question is the sorting. Sorting means you take, for example, curriculum. Various attributes are categorized here. Example, you ask the candidates to sort. Sort means to group. For example, new textbook. You group the usefulness, design, appearance, language in the textbook. Which ones do you put under good? Which ones do you put under poor? So they will group, sorting. So they will select language, good. Usefulness of the textbook, good. Design, poor. Appearance, poor, or other attributes. So you can select a large number of attributes related to one phenomenon. You can ask the candidate, the participants to sort, to group. Another technique used to prepare questionnaires. So up to now, we have discussed 3 techniques that can be employed to prepare questionnaire, the questions in the questionnaire, to measure attitudes, So when preparing the questionnaire, think that you prepare close-ended questions following these principles. Merely asking, I have seen that. Most of you, I'm not blaming you, I have not seen yours, but our students, just write 10 questions. What is your opinion about the textbook? Do you think the textbook is useful? You cannot really measure a specific attitude of the participants. We must measure specific what we expect. We expect something in the objectives. Objectives, we expect to measure whether the language games are useful. So if you ask the participants, are the language games useful? Why? They will write so many things you cannot analyze. They will write certain unnecessary things, wasting time, not directed, not specific. These techniques will help you elicit information, obtain information from the participant, the exact information you expect to analyze according to the objectives you set at the beginning. So you increase the validity in your research. So the last type is choosing. Choosing means you ask the candidate or the participants to select. This time not grouping, selecting. Example, which of the following textbook is the most elegant? They will select. Okay, grade 8 is the most elegant one. They will select. Which of the following textbook is the most useful? They will select grade 8. So that you can calculate the person, how many from 100 participants in the survey, how many of them selected grade 8? 60%. Grade 6, only 3%. So you can understand which textbook is very useful according to the opinions of the teachers or according to the opinions of the students. This is how you conduct your survey. Your conducting survey is not merely asking some question. What is your idea about the textbook? Describe the your idea about the textbook. Right? No specific information collected. You do not investigate your specific objectives. So when you design the questionnaire, it is necessary that you consider your objectives, your specific objectives. Based on that, you prepare your question. So these are the techniques through which an effective questionnaire can be prepared in order to measure the attitude specifically. So we have, from the beginning, now we are able to identify the problem, propose a solution, identify the variable, formulate the objectives, and after that, conceptualization, I am formulating hypothesis, etc., from a proposition, and preparing the conceptual framework, and you selected your sample. Now you are collecting data. To collect data, you prepare the questionnaire. Even then, not merely writing 10 questions, open-ended questions. Describe your attitude about the visual aids. Describe your attitudes about the language. No, we prepare. You should be logical, creative, right? Creativity of the research is very important. For example, language games. How can I prepare my questionnaire to obtain specific information about language games? For example, rank the type of language game. Which of the following language games you have used in your classroom? And ask them to rank, ask them to choose, and ask them which of the following reasons, on which of the following reasons do you consider language games useful? So there you will have several reasons. You select from them, ask the participants to select from these reasons. So you can identify the trend. That is preparation of the questionnaire. I believe that now I think your proposal is okay. Proposal is okay. Viva will be conducted later, Hari, but do not stop at that point. You have time these days. If you are not doing anything special, right, make sure that you start your work. Do not wait until we say at the Viva your proposal is approved, you can do. Nah. We will approve your proposal. We will suggest some minor changes, not major ones. We believe that your proposal will be okay. I have given you guidelines and okay. There will be minor changes. Minor, no, don't do that, do like this. So some slight changes will be proposed. But mainly, no major changes in the proposal. In the proposal. If it is prepared well, if it's rebel, of course, that we'll have to consider. I don't think that many students, most of you, your proposal will be okay. Now start your work. Do not wait until the last moment. Do not wait until the last moment you begin your work. You begin your work with regard to your research. Start it. before you do that, you have many other things to be planned. For example, questionnaire should be planned. Your pre-test paper, post-test paper, other things should be planned. Begin them. Begin them now. Otherwise, don't take it, very complicated thesis. Very complicated study. Select a simple one. Otherwise, later you will write so many things you did, but actually you have not done. In the Viva, we understand that you have not done that. We can understand it. You can't cheat us. We can understand whether you have actually done it or not. By 2 questions, when you answer the questions, we are able to identify whether you have actually done the research or not. So be prepared to do it genuinely, actually, and then present your outcomes. Right? Therefore, begin your work now itself. Begin your work now itself. Before I proceed on to the next part, any question? Any question up to now? Preparation of the questionnaire. I am not going to discuss anything more about the questionnaire. So if you have any questions, you can raise now. You can think about how you prepare your questionnaire.
Excuse me, sir. Good
Yes,
morning.
yes, yes. Good, Nadisha.
Sir, I have a doubt of not the questionnaire, but
right.
sir, how to write the significance or the implications of the research, sir?
Yeah. What is meant by implication, Nadisha, or anybody? What is meant by significance? What is the meaning? Significance?
Important.
Importance. Importance. What do you mean by importance?
Why is
Importance of
research
our topic.
important to be conducted? Why do we conduct it? Why do you see it as important? Is that so?
Explain, Fatima.
For us to conduct like language games, help to improve vocabulary. So why are language games? Why have we chosen that?
You are right, but you did not actually explain what I expected. Fatima, little more.
What are the benefits that we can get through our?
What are the benefits? You are right. That is significance. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Advantages.
Advantages, benefits. Okay. What do you mean by that, Sipali or Chaturika?
So maybe the findings of the research will be useful for the future studies, future educators and teachers.
There you are. Explain, Chaturika, little more. Once again, repeat and explain.
So based on the research design, the findings will be beneficial for the future studies, maybe for the policymakers, maybe for the teachers, maybe for the educators, maybe for another researcher. So it will cover a gap. Even if the research has done previously, this research findings will cover that gap as well.
Right. You are correct. You are correct, Chaturika. That is, who will significance means who will benefit from this study. Who will benefit? You will obviously say my students in my class. That's why your class is only a sample. It's only a sample. You generalize, this is how the entire population learns. So obviously the population learners will benefit. Not only that. That is one advantage. Through this, learners will develop a better way of learning the language. Example, this is only example. Second, who else will benefit? Teachers. Teachers will develop the idea that visual aids can be used effectively to maximize learning process. So teachers will benefit from this study. Only learners and teachers? No. Who will further develop? Material writers will develop. How? I don't know if it is relevant. Sometimes maybe material writers will be able to design materials taking some aspects of your findings into consideration. So they will benefit. Apart from that, what other categories? Chaturika mentioned educational policy makers. It is relevant, huh? I don't know. Right? Educational policy makers will make use of this. For example, providing more visual aids-based resources or something like that, so that the policy makers will benefit in order to change the existing policies. Think about different stakeholders, different parties who will benefit from your study, from the findings of your study. Right? It is not only the students in your class. They are only a sample. Actually, from the findings, when you publish the findings, you publish the findings. When you publish the findings, who will take the ideas from your findings and use them for their purposes? Textbook writers, material developers, policy or other English teachers. They will benefit. That is the significance of your study. That is the significance of your study. I'm sorry, I forgot the name who raised the question. Who? Nadisha. Yeah, Nadisha. Is it okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, you can explain that in detail. Any other question before proceeding further?
Sir, excuse me.
Uh,
That assignment,
Uma, yes.
the subtopic is literature review. Can you please explain?
Yeah, here you can relate it as you like. That is not a very, literature reviews I will explain later when you write your dissertation. You know.
But in that assignment, that topic
assignment, very briefly, what other researchers have done about this area. For example, if it is related to visual aids, has any similar research been conducted in some other country or in Sri Lanka about the use of visual aids for something? So you can select about 2-3 researchers who have done that. Indicate their findings directly. This Brown 2018, based on a project undertaken by him, comments that visual aids have been highly effective for the development of something like their ideas, their findings very briefly. Literature means who the other researchers were, how the other researchers have done similar things or something related to your topic. Briefly explain. Very importantly, if they have not done what you are going to do, you can't say nobody has done because you have not researched everything. Little has been studied about this situation in Sri Lankan context. So that is the research gap. By reading literature, you identify the research gap. And then you are able to say, I am doing this research because others have not done. Or if the others have done, never mind. I am also doing a similar research in Sri Lankan context. So literature review is what other, in simple language, what other researchers have done with regard to the area that you have chosen. Okay, Uma? Okay?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yeah, now, yeah, good. Now, the importance of joining this lecture live is that you can raise questions and get the things, clear, so that it is important when you are dealing with it. Because, right, even during the last 5-10 minutes, I will give you time for some, not all, for some of you to speak to me personally and raise individual questions about your particular topic. And if you have general questions, you can raise at any time during the question. Yeah, Mahisha. Okay, so let me proceed further into the next part. Next part, classroom observation. Now, another thing, some of you will be doing questionnaire. Remember that questionnaire, I have explained to you how to prepare the questions. Two purposes, dual purpose. One, you prepare your questionnaire for your research. That is the practical application. Other side, at the end semester exam or mid semester exam, if you are asked, two types of questions. One, explain the types of questions that can be used in a questionnaire. You should be able to explain the scaling questions, ranking questions, choosing questions, sorting questions, etc., giving examples. Or another question, prepare a suitable questionnaire for the following research. The questionnaire should include questions from ranking, scaling, choosing, sorting, etc. So preparing the questionnaire or explaining the types of questions with examples, that is one purpose. The other purpose, your research. You said the question. So another one, another aspect in your research is observation, classroom observation. So maybe some of you are preparing questionnaires. Some of you will be doing classroom observation. Some of you will be doing both questionnaire and classroom observation. Fine, right? No rules. Okay, classroom observation in action research. We'll discuss this. Now, first of all, this action research. What is action research? Anybody with some understanding? Action research. Basically, we are talking about the language learning setting now. It can have different meanings in other contexts, but we are referring to educational context.
Research done by practically.
Yeah, good. Explain.
By using practical methods,
Or
observation, interview.
Yeah, can you? Yeah, good, Keshini. Can you explain some? Either Keshini or somebody else. What is classroom action research? Classroom action research.
The observation, sir.
All right, Madhushi, explain little further. Chaturika and Fatima later. First, okay, Madhushi.
Observing the process of teaching and learning, or the behaviors of the students and the teachers in the classroom.
Yeah, you are doing observation. Observation is a tool, instrument, like a questionnaire. It is a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classroom and action research. Earlier, Chaturika and Fatima wanted to contribute. Yeah,
Is it an experiment?
Based on classroom activities.
I'm sorry, I missed your name. Chaturika, yes?
Sir, is it an experimental study where teaching program or an interventions will be carried out for participants?
Oh, that is also research, experimental research. That you give.
Where the student is absorbing the learning and using it in his activities.
Can you repeat it, Fatima?
How well the student is absorbing this and using it practically, like we say a pre-grade how they pouring grain activity. The teacher is showing them, and then how well the child has absorbed it and how he is using in his activities. Is he doing it the right way? Am I successful? Or no, it has not gone to him. Then this system is not going on well for him. Things like that.
Exactly. Right. Good explanation. I should say good. Yeah. Somebody else. Okay, Nisa, you say observing students' action, involvement during learning teaching process in the classroom. Yes. Yeah. So others, Mafia. I'm sorry, I missed the name. And Chaturika wanted to add more name. Who else wanted to add something more about this classroom action research? Yeah. Yeah, action
Ask,
research. Yeah. Good.
asking questions from students
Oh,
about the attitudes of the lesson.
oh, right. Now, yeah. Okay, Keshini, good. Now we'll see here actually what you said is okay, fine. Right, all parts describing, but have a clear idea. Now you are teaching. You are in the classroom. Always as a teacher, if you have possess good attitudes, if you have attitudes, of course, I am getting a salary of this amount and then I will do that and go, right? That is all. I can't do anything more than that, right? That, not that attitude. Always as a teacher, you think of improving yourself. The quality of yourself means improving the quality of learning. Unless the quality of learning improves, the teaching does not, because they are interrelated. So how do you improve the quality of teaching? Action research aims at improving the quality of teaching while finding a particular solution to a problem. You are thinking about a problem. You have a problem in your mind. You are thinking about that problem. How can I improve the speaking skills of my students? Or how can I improve the quality of group work? They are doing group work. I am also helping them. How can I improve the quality of group work? Oh, why can't they read? How can I improve their reading skills? When a solution is found within the classroom context, you improve the quality of your teaching. So class action research is really an inquiry which is carried out to change the way of teaching. To change the way of teaching, to improve the quality of teaching. You are doing something in order to improve the quality. The problem you have, you have a problem. How can I improve the reading skills of my students? How can I improve the quality of group work while I am practicing? So you want to improve that, you have that problem, and when you find a solution, you improve the quality of teaching. So you are in the classroom with this specific problem in mind. With this specific problem in mind, you are a practitioner now. You are in the classroom. Here, you have several steps to be followed. Number one, propose a change. Propose a change. When I get the students to group work, I will, this is not how it is done, not useful. I will change. First of all, I will give them a task and ask them to get into groups. And I will give this. You have proposed a change. You engage in action. Okay, shall we do it? Continuously you engage in that action. You observe the result. I say now they are producing, they are actively involved in the learning process today because of my change. You observe the result. Next stage, reflect. Reflection means actually you are going in front of a mirror. You are going in front of a mirror. So you go right, think why it actually happened. It happened this way. But there is something wrong also. I will change that one tomorrow. Right? So you reflect and make changes. And this circular path continues. This is the classroom action research. You propose a change, engage in action, observe results and reflect on change or action. So, yeah, Hiruni, you are right, Bhagya, this is the intervention process in this. It's not an experimental study. So this can be used basically in qualitative research. Qualitative research. You describe what happened. So in your methodology, you describe your process, what is the change, how you engage in the action, so that you will have. So example, to demonstrate, to make you understand better, another example. Propose a change. What is the change? I will do group activities hereafter. Until yesterday, I did only the traditional class. I was talking, the students were listening. Tomorrow, my change. I will do group activities. Engage. You do the group activities in the classroom the next day. Observe how the students learn and the outcome. You observe how the difference because of your action. You reflect on why it changed. This is research, action research. So another example. I will use music to stimulate creative writing. Our students, they are very weak in writing. They never think creatively to write. That creativity is necessary now. What can I do? I will propose a change. I will make use of music to stimulate their creative writing. I will plan like this, like this. You propose the change. Engage. You do classroom activities based on music. And as based on, in relation to that, you give the writing. You observe, you get the scripts written by the students and see drastic change. You can't expect drastic changes within one day, but continuously, right? You analyze the change, reflect, why did this happen? How do the students write marvelous ideas now? Because I introduced music. Action research. It is action research. So it is action research. It can be used qualitative. Here, this describes this pathway. You plan, you act and observe, you reflect. Sometimes you revise your plan and act and observe, reflect. So this can be continuously done. And under your findings, you can explain how changes happen. It is research. It is research. Why you generate new knowledge. You investigate a problem, proposed a solution, you work it out. Through the classroom process, you found reflected, and you found some better way to improve the quality of teaching. So this is, so now classroom teaching is done. How can you collect data? It is not always the test paper. Sometimes the test paper will not tell us more useful insights into the improvement of the students. Test paper will tell us something. The students improved their performances. But there are certain things that cannot be understood through the test papers. Are there other ways other than the test paper? In action research, you can conduct test paper. Okay, I will give them a test paper and I will find out whether they have improved. By looking at the marks, you can see, my students improved. But that is not all. What is important is the process. Action research is not product-oriented, process-oriented. What do you mean by process-oriented? Not the final outcome. Whether it happened in this way, how it happened, what did I do during the group work to improve the quality? Did I, right? Those things should come as your findings. Not only final product, students improve. Students improved final product. That is important. So that you can say group work is important, students will improve. That is important. But very importantly, how it happened. Because I use this new another sub technique. Because of that technique, they improve. They work like this. Are useful to the other teachers in the community. Useful to the other researchers. Such insights into the learning process can be discovered through action research. That is very important, just like the final outcome. Final outcome is not the only thing. Whether they finally improved it or not is not the only thing what is important. The process. Product is important, process is equally important. How it happened. So, action research is process oriented, not product oriented. We have two concepts, product oriented, process oriented. Product oriented means only the final result. Final result is important. I do not say it's not. But what is equally important is how it happened. What did you do in each stage? I changed like this. That is why they improve. How they improve is important. That will be revealed in action research. In experimental research, you can say, yes, they improved. Therefore, this is useful. But how they improved is revealed in action research. So action research is also important. So how do you gather data in action research? It's not only the test paper. Test paper will tell us the finally whether they improved or not. Are there other ways through which we can collect data other than the test paper? What are the other ways you would suggest to collect data in action research? What are the research tools in action research?
Motivation of student.
Chaturika, motivation, how do you measure?
Sir, can we have a list to observe the students?
What is it, Chaturika? I didn't get.
Sir, if it is now we assess qualitatively by checklist.
Preparing a checklist for observation, fine. Observation checklist is one way. I will talk about it. Good, Chaturika. Other ways? What are the other tools through which you can get information in action research?
Active participation of students.
Oh, how Nisar? Nisar?
So reflective journals, by asking the students to maintain reflective journals of their day-to-day work that they do in the classroom.
They are your reflective journals are very good, Daniel, right? Reflective journals or diaries or student portfolios. Fine. Other ways that you would like to add? Because maybe that do not know some, but you as teachers, you may know better. Other ways through which you can collect data.
Active participation of students.
Or how do you measure?
So question I answer to the students.
Or Kanagasundaram, questionnaire can be given. I do, right? Questionnaire can be given. If the students are, I mean,
They like it,
oh, they like it,
then
yeah.
they can rate them.
They can rate, etc. Yes. If they are primary students, of course, you'll have to think. But Jnanasundaram, you are right. Kanagasundaram, you are right. Questionnaire can be administered, right? Yeah. Niroshan, or any other technique through which you can collect data? Here, diaries, portfolios. Yeah. What is it?
Can we use
Iruni,
can we use post test, sir?
can we use?
Post test?
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, post test will tell us only yes or no. Yes or no, whether they improved or not. But more important information can be revealed in action research. Action research focuses on processing, how they improve. The final product is, yes, they improve. Post-test will tell us. Apart from the final product, what happened while they were learning? Process. So you can make use of diaries. You said learner journals. Fine. I have used the word diaries, student portfolios, or interviews, questionnaires, observation checklist. Chaturika say we can use them. The list is not complete. Huh? You can prepare a better list. You can prepare a better list. My list is not complete. There are many other ways to gather information about the students' behavior in the class. So, as Chaturika pointed out previously, one way is observation. Observation is a tool. So, what do you mean by observation? Again, just like a questionnaire. Questionnaire, open-ended, you can say, what are your attitudes about group work? Teachers will write so many things you can't write. It's difficult to measure through open-ended question. Observation is also same. You merely go to the class. Go to the class and you merely observe, looking at the students. So many things will come. Therefore, you can't judge. You can't measure. One way, teacher journal. Diary can be made. So the important points can be written. Fine. Or you observe based on specific areas according to the objectives. Prepare. I will observe these points. So that you are very, direct. Not observing merely what are they doing now, very happy, no? Good. So there is no direction, proper direction, observation. One way you can write your diary. Important points can be maintained there. Teacher journal. Apart from that, specific checklist can be prepared. Checklist is parallel to questionnaire. Checklist is parallel. Checklist is that can be used. You are observing another teacher. You are observing another class. Or you are observing your class. You right? So checklist can be prepared. Use the same techniques to prepare the technique. That is maybe ranking, maybe choosing according to you what you want to observe. According to what you want to observe. Here, this is a scale is prepared like this. A scale is prepared, classroom observation, group work. Example, this is example, don't follow this one, better ones can be drafted. One example, here some statements. Scaling, always, mostly, moderately, sometimes, never. So always means highly frequent, mostly, moderately, sometimes, never. You observe, students engage actively in group work. You judge, yes, always they do that. I will mark. My judgment is that. Students ask questions from each other. Nah, 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 nah. Never, I will mark. Students show enthusiasm. Ah, yes. Ah, that group also. You rate, you mark. So checklist based information. Check. So you mark students engage. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Always engage. You judge, you mark. Or maybe that you are observing another teacher. Or get another teacher to mark. Whatever. Right? There are different ways to gather information. Right? Students ask questions from each other. Sometimes, yes, yes, but not yeah, moderately, I will. So you, after that, you will have frequencies. Day number 1, day number 2, day number 3, day number 4. You make observations or whatever. You are free. You are free to arrange it. Be logical. The Viva, be ready. I did like this. Why did you do? It is because of this reason. You have to have logical explanation. Everything is done with logical explanation. You are creative, intelligent. Or another question, another checklist. Marking only orating, always, or agree, strongly agree, etc. Say number 2, number 3. Teacher uses appropriate tone of voice. Teacher uses appropriate tone of voice. Yes, yes. Okay. Strongly agree. Right. So you can have questions like this. You can have statements like this for Likert scale, etc. Yeah. So this is, you prepare observation checklist and conduct action research. Action research. Conducting action research. Perhaps your research will be action research. Yours will be action research. Or maybe yours experimental research, but you collect data through observation also. So you prepare your observation checklist. You prepare your questionnaire in a systematic way to specifically gather it. Do not copy the questions from my example and write down, change in a little bit. No, logically. Use your creativity, your logicality as undergraduate students, as graduates now, right? Use your logicality. Okay. Before proceeding further, can one of you tell me whether you are doing action research, and can you explain if you are doing, how you gather information? Anybody? Your experience?
Gather information about from students
Okay, yeah.
about
Good
their
Chaturika?
In case it's together an experimental research as well as an action research.
Right. Explain what you do. That will be useful to the others so that they will understand. They will, if the others like, they can change. Now, excuse me. Wait, Chaturika, wait just a minute. Now, somebody asked me, sir, can I change my topic? Perfectly all right. Still you are planning. No rules. You can change still. Later, don't ask me. After the approval is given, I have not approved. I told you, okay, this is correct, but the final document will come to me. Then I will sign approval. After that, if you want to change, it will be a big process. You'll have to inform the university, etc. Still, you and I, right? So you spoke to me, asked me, I said okay. And next time if you ask me, okay, you change it, never mind. Because the document has not been signed by me, which was sent by the university. When the university sends a document and when I approve it, and you, I mean, still can change, but difficult. You have to inform the, right? Therefore, now you can change. So get the samples from the other students and then change. Fine. Okay. If you feel I can do something better, okay, fine. Go ahead. Okay, Chaturika, can you explain?
Sir, my topic is whether these learner-centered motivational strategies affect on have a relationship on English language proficiency. So basically, I will conduct a pre-test to the selected sample, and the interventions will be carried out to a period of time, and the post-test will be conducted. Throughout this intervention period, I will observe the students through a checklist as you stated previously, sir. So students will be, I thought of videotaping the students as proofs, and checklist will be conducted throughout the learning period and assess students' effect towards the whether these motivation strategies really affect for the English language proficiency. That's it, sir.
Very good, Chaturika. Very happy, right? Wait, Chaturika, don't unmute. Very happy, very good. And the confidence with which she expresses her ideas, very nice. Right? This is good research. Very specific objective. And she's very clear about what she's going to do. Very happy. Chaturika, I am going to bother you for some time, right?
Yes.
This will be a, I know, trouble for you. Can you kindly repeat what you said? Because it is useful. See how she explains her research. If I ask you to explain your research, you should be able to do that. You should be able to explain your research in a way that I understand. Chaturika, can you?
Yes, sir. So my topic is learner-centered motivation strategies, effectiveness of learner-centered motivational strategies on English language proficiency. So my objectives are whether there is a relationship between these motivation strategies and English language proficiency, as well as I want to check how I want to assess whether there's an effect towards these whether there's an effect on motivation strategies to English language marks or the score. So to assess this, I will conduct this in two methods as experimental and action research. In the experimental design, I will conduct a pre-test at the beginning for the selected participants through the random sampling method. And I will have this my teaching program, or the interventions will be carried out. I'm selecting only several strategies. There will be many strategies. However, I'm selected, and the interventions will be carried out for a period of like 2 months, and the post-test will be conducted. During the teaching process, I will videotape my students. So I will observe my students using a checklist. I can assess whether the slow learners or the backward learners have got motivated, and I am assessing them through the checklist.
Very good, Chaturika. Wait, don't unmute. One thing at the Viva also, even if you conduct a presentation later, examiners can ask, can you explain what you are going to do very briefly? You should be able to explain. Now, Chaturika explained well. Right, I understood what she was going to do from the description. That Chaturika, can you give an example, 1 or 2 questions that you include in the checklist? Because that is the area that we discussed today. I can't hear you, Chaturika. You are speaking, it seems.
Sir, I didn't decide to admit.
Yeah, no, just a rough idea, checklist. No. Okay, Chaturika. Never mind. Right? You may decide because it's only today that I discussed that. Fine. Right? So you may discuss preparing a checklist like this. Or right, different types of techniques, ranking, rating, right? They can be included in the checklist. Scaling or Likert scale, that is applicable even for observation checklist. Observation checklist. Prepare it like that. Otherwise, don't say, no, I went to the classroom and I observed. When I observed, I found, nah, that is not scientific specific way of measuring your formulated objectives. Always very specific, very specific. So do not say that I went to the classroom. When I was teaching, I could notice that the students were highly motivated. No. What do you mean by motivated? Right. So they answered the questions frequently. You have a checklist and you have the frequency values, etc. So that you are really measuring different aspects. I do not say the other side wrong, completely wrong, right? Open-ended subjective measurement, okay, fine, in qualitative. Yeah. So I shall open the next part, not be able to conclude interpreting an abstract. You should be able to read an abstract and interpret. What is abstract? What is abstract? What do you mean by an abstract? Anybody? Abstract?
Taking
Yes.
Facts.
Idrising, fine.
Not
yes.
tangible.
Luxury, yeah, luxury. Yeah, Ranavira?
Sir, not tangible.
Oh, you are right, Putame. That is the meaning of the word abstract, right? You are right, not tangible. But in research, we are using the word abstract for a different purpose.
So taking
yeah.
a part from an text.
No. We are using the word abstract in a different meaning. Summary of your research. One page, maybe 200 or 300 words. 200 or 300 words. That is summary. After you finish everything, I'm taking this topic abstract at this stage because I want to practice you for this, but still you write the abstract when everything is finished. Everything is over. That is, very briefly, your abstract should include all the details about your research. How come all the details in one page? 200, 300 words? Yes. 300 words, everything. That is why I say it's summary. Summary of the research. 300 words, everything. Everything? Yes. 1 or 2 sentences background. Very brief. 1 sentence main object. 1 or 2, 1 or 2 or 3 sentences methodology. How you did it. 1 or 2 or 3 sentences main findings. Finally, 1 sentence, finish it, concluding. That's all in the abstract. That's all in the abstract. That is the abstract. We will read an abstract. Dani Anisa, you have a very nice explanation. Sent to everyone in the chat box. A summarized academic introduction of the research.
Sir, can we state if it is a hypothesis whether we accept it or reject it?
Fatima?
If we are now, if there is a hypothesis, we can write whether we accept it or reject it in the abstract, isn't it?
Yeah, hypothesis you need not directly give. You can imply. right? So, but when you write your main question, we understand your hypothesis. If you like, you can include. We will see one abstract. We will see one abstract, but no time. I will show you only the abstract. Next day, we will discuss further. This is the abstract, 1 page. We'll start. Fatima. Fatima,
Yes, sir.
can you read out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Start.
Translanguaging has been largely implemented in bilingual classrooms, but there is a paucity of research investigating this approach in classrooms where more than 2 languages coexist. Moreover, it is still unclear what particular dimensions of language learning are positively affected by translanguaging. This mixed methods study examines whether translanguaging has positive effects on academic vocabulary compared to a traditional monolingual approach. 7. English for academic purposes. Teachers use 2 different approaches with their students. N equal 129. Translanguaging to a treatment group and English only to a comparison group. Data from students' vocabulary tests, classroom observations, and learner diaries were analyzed and compared for convergence. Results show that students in the translanguaging group had significant higher scores in academic vocabulary at the end of the program compared to students in the monolingual group. Results also show that students in the translanguaging group engaged in meaning making across languages and took an active role in language learning, suggesting that translanguaging may provide engagement in vocabulary learning in ways which monolingual practices may not.
Okay, thank you, Fatima. Very good. And pronunciation, very good. Right? You reading ability better than me, right? I am unable to read. That's why I asked you to read. You read it very well. Good, Fatima.
Thank you, sir. Oh my God,
Okay.
I'm not a compare to you.
No, good. Yeah, so here is an abstract, 1 page document. It gives all the information about the background, the methodology that the researcher used, how many sample size, everything, right? And the results finding. Only 1 page, less than 1 page, 250 words. Everything about the research, abstract. Okay, I will continue discussion on the abstract and continue the next lecture. Today I have finished my lecture, but I will be here until 7:30 or little more. If you want to speak to me personally about your research or any other question, you can raise. Others can leave the meeting. Thank you for your active contribution. My lecture is over. You can leave. My lecture is over. If you have titles to be discussed, send them to the chat chat box. Your titles. Other than titles, others can leave. Others can leave. Lecture is over. You can leave. Only those who have problems can stay. Any problems other than the title? Titles I will check in the chat box. Other than the title, any other problem?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, in the URI.
Sir, in which
Not the title.
No,
Okay,
regarding title, sir. In which method we cannot use open-ended questions, sir, in qualitative or in quantitative method.
In the URI, there was some technical, I couldn't understand in the URI. In the URI.
Sir.
Yeah.
In which method we cannot use open-ended questions, sir, in qualitative method or in quantitative method.
In which method? Sorry?
In which method we cannot use open-ended questions, sir, in qualitative method to in quantitative method.
I understand your latter part. There is maybe my computer. Can you type the question and send it to chat box in the way?
Yes, sure, sir. I will do it.
Okay, right. Any other?
Sir,
Madhushani.
Madhushi, sir, my topic is the impact of.
And topic you can discuss with me later.
No, sir. This is my topic. The impact of use of mother tongue on development of English language proficiency among
Right.
our secondary students. So you told, sir, that is okay. I plan to do a pre-test and then after a post-test.
Right.
And I decided to select one of the school, a government school in a rural area, and another private school, English medium school. Because I know those rural schools, normally they do in a mix bilingual method. So in private schools, they don't use mother tongue.
Right.
That's it. That was my point. But now I have a doubt, sir. When I do the pre-test, it's okay. Then to do the post-test, now how can I conduct this now in this private school? Normally, it's okay. They don't use mother tongue. I have a doubt. How can I, do the post test? Means because now this rural area school, I don't teach there. So how can I overcome with these issues?
Nah, Madhushi, now these practical problems yours. If you can't do something, don't select that. Select another school or whatever. Because yeah.
If I select like this now in my school, I work in the private school. There are both single medium and English medium classes.
Yeah.
Normally, we try to handle all the classes using only the English language, but sometimes we feel difficult to deal with those single medium classes. So sometimes we do use single words. So when I start my research after the pre-test, can I do something like this? Like for these single medium classes also, I can use only the English language, and to overcome with the issues regarding, I can select some visual aids or something. Then after, if I arrange the post test, will it be okay, sir?
Yeah, I did not, fully comprehend, but to my understanding, okay, see whether it is logical. Argue with within yourself. Or is it okay that have I treated both groups in the same way, apart from one variable? The variable that you are going to test. In all other ways, have I treated both groups in the same way?
Anyhow, sir, there should be a difference to measure at the end.
That's right, in the post test.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are taking 2 classes.
Yeah, the one English medium class and single medium class, or one the international school and a government school.
Okay, fine. So only difference is that medium difference.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And yeah. That's okay, me.
No,
to my understanding, as you. Sorry.
My issue is now I'm not working in that rural school, so how can I, use now those teachers, if they use single mother tongue, how can I assist them to handle the teaching and learning process only using English language? Then after I can do the post test and all.
Yeah, I know that. Therefore, if you have no control, if you have no authority, and if you have no assurance that they will do as it is expected, you have to collect information not through a post test day. Questionnaire, or think about another way to way to get information.
Okay.
Right?
Because
Because
as
if
excuse me,
yeah. Okay, Mapsa. Maps. Mashfa.
Sir,
Yeah.
excuse me. I already discussed my topic with you. Difficulties encountered by second language learners in reading comprehension.
Right.
So, sir, I tell my research process. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sir, as a teacher, we know when we correct papers, most of the students reluctant to do that reading comprehension. As I think they have a problem with reading and understanding.
Yes.
So, if I collect the term test paper and with the marks of that, I select the two students of the top marks they got, and the average marks of two students, and the low marks of two students, and I interview
two students.
Yes, two. Then I'll interview 6 students. Is it okay, or should I need to get some more students to interview?
I think if you can increase the sample size little more, that will
Yes,
provide
I'm
you
working in a rural school. There are parallel class A and B. There around
interview
70.
is the only method you get information through.
No, sir. I can observe them because most of their class activities, if we take the textbooks, most of they have reading comprehension. So I can put them into group and I can observe them.
Yeah.
Then to encourage them, I can give small reading comprehension and make.
Yeah. Okay, your work is like action research. Okay, no issue, right?
Is
You
it
can
okay,
increase.
sir?
Yeah, that is okay. But if you increase the number of students for the interview, better.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So excuse
I
me.
have a small
Yeah.
doubt.
Hanva Sundaram.
Sir, sir, my problem is,
Yeah.
so I plan to do a pre-test and a post-test.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. I'm not quite clear about that. So where should I use the questionnaire here? So it's
No.
experimental.
Do not think that you must use everything that I explain in the class. Right? I am explaining everything related to research. So you should select what is relevant to your study to investigate the objectives. What is your objective?
So effectiveness of this reading simple stories in the English proficiency, the development of.
Right. So how can you get information?
No, sir, I'm going to do interventions after the pre-test.
Fine. Yeah, so that is enough now.
Sir. So the questionnaire is not related to this one. Am I correct, sir?
If you like, you can collect more details through a questionnaire among the students. Right?
Before the pre-test, sir, or during?
Or after the post-test, you can administer a questionnaire.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Okay, sir.
If you like, even the post-test and pre-test,
Okay, sir.
Right?
One last question I have.
Okay,
if I'm
thank you very much,
disturbing,
sir.
sorry.
Okay, Fatima.
Yes, sir. My topic was the impact of literature on second language learners. And now when I was investigating, I got to know that Sinhala medium students are not allowed to choose literature, it seems, English literature. The English medium students are only able to select English literature. So there will be an extraneous variable. So is that okay if I conduct it, or should I change the topic?
No, you can select only the English medium students.
Select them and then go ahead with it. Okay,
Yeah. Right?
Okay, thank you. Thank
you. Okay. Nishal, Idris Singh?
Yes, sir. So I have some confusions.
Yeah.
I didn't do the assignment yet. Sir, our present topic and the assignment is the same. But we are going to...
No. Yeah. Assignment is the proposal.
Yes. So can I tell my topic?
Send me the chat message. Only through chat
I-
message. Are you here?
yes,
Okay, I am taking the chat message. You have. Okay, I am calling you, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, in the order I am calling you. Any other question other than the title?
No,
No.
that's all, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I will take the chat, open the chat boxes here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, who is this?
Sir,
Yeah.
what should we write in the data analysis when writing the proposal? Can you explain?
What is it, Madhuka?
What should we write in data analysis when writing the proposal? Can you explain?
Data analysis is not there. Data, just 1 or 2 sentences. How you analyze the data? Data will be analyzed by using statistical test or something like that. Just 1 sentence is enough if you are writing the data analysis. No data analysis, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Data analysis is not, I mean, just 1 sentence can be written that data will be analyzed by using statistical tests. Only that's it. Yeah.
So how many months we can do the research?
How many?
How many months we can do our research?
If you like Niroshan, you can do it throughout your lifetime.
No, I mean that until the hand in over.
Yes. Until
we hand over our research.
It is up to you, no? Right? This year or next year, or even right? Maybe about 3-4 months. Niroshan?
Okay, sir.
Until the end of the semester. When does the semester finish? Niroshan.
I have no idea about that, sir.
Yeah, you have to ask the administrator, I mean the coordinator. Generally, when the semester finishes, right? Or after the end semester exam, immediately after the end semester exam, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Chat. Madhushika?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So what is the least amount of sample you can take for this?
I have given, no, for experimental studies at least 15. Huh?
No, sir. Like if we want to take slow learners, like initially I thought of taking the whole class, but after today's lecture, I thought like I can take the slow learners and do it as an action research type, doing an intervention process. So if I do it like that,
Then it has to be a case study. For case study, even with 2-3 learners, that's okay. It is a case study.
Then it becomes a case study. So 2-3 students is also okay.
Okay, but not. You have to explain it under limitations that this cannot be generalized.
Okay, sir.
Right? Okay,
Okay,
fine. Okay,
thank you,
but
sir.
fine. Okay.
Sir,
Diluni?
sir,
Yeah.
my topic is impact of language activities on development tenses construction. Is it correct?
No, topics I will have, you may send me a chat message.
Yes, sir. And also I hope to this activity do on grade 9 students.
Right. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now, Madhushika, effectiveness of authentic materials on development of second language speaking skill. Madhushika, correct, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Piomi, influence of employing language games on learning the lessening the phobia of learning a second influence of employing language games. Okay, Piomi, fine, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Niroshan, impact of
Sir,
select
excuse me,
teaching.
sir.
Yeah, wait.
I can
Yeah,
take a particular.
I'll come. Niroshan, Niroshan. Impact of selected teaching strategies on development of speaking skills in rural areas of speaking skills among students in rural areas. Okay, Ninoshan?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Good. Nadishani Chaturika, impact of selected collaborative writing strategies on the development of second level. Okay, fine, Nadishani. Now the topics are good because you have studied the pattern. Very good, Nadishani. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Who is this KGSPW? What's your name?
Shivanta, sir.
Shivanta, right. The impact of activity-based teaching on the development of simple past tense among simple past tense constructions, right? Okay, Shivanta?
Okay, sir.
Okay,
sir.
fine. Okay, fine, good.
Thank you very much.
Effectiveness, Sadi. Sadi.
Yes, sir.
Effectiveness of homework for what?
For the from grade 4 to 11.
For what?
I mean, our primary and
Developing mathematics or developing science or what?
yes, that's
Effectiveness of homework on development of English language proficiency.
Can you repeat again?
Effectiveness of homework on development of second language proficiency. Right? Yeah. Shamali Ratnabhushana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, incorporating reading activities in the development of second language writing skills. Okay, fine, Shamali.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, right, Madhuka. Now, most of you are writing good titles, well, because we have practiced it and you have seen others writing. Impact of activity-based teaching on development of simple present form among the second language. Okay, fine, Madhusha. Second language, present form or present constructions. Both are okay. Okay, Madhusha? Prasad? Prasad, no? Absent?
Yes. No.
Yes. Yeah. Improving language skills to describe day-to-day activities. What are you doing?
Actually, sir, I want them to encourage them to build up sentences using simple present tense and present continuous tense.
And then we will do that.
Huh.
You are teaching simple present tense?
Yes.
Right. Then write the topic.
Okay.
Simple present only or simple present and past?
Not past tense. I just want them to convey the things just happening in the present tense. In classroom.
Right.
Or
Okay. Yeah. Impact of teaching present tense forms. Impact of teaching present tense forms on development of basic writing skills. Okay.
Okay.
Basic writing skills in English. Okay.
Okay.
Right, Prasad? Yeah. Janani.
Okay, sir. Thank
you. Janani, no?
Yes, sir.
Impact of activity-based teaching on development of writing skills among grade 6 students. Okay, Janani?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine, good. Sandamali, attitudes of advanced level students in terms of in the future professions. Attitudes of advanced level students, not about, on. Sandamali?
Yes, sir.
Attitudes of the advanced level students on the importance of English language in their future professions. Study based on advanced level technology stream. Okay, good, Sadamal. Right?
Yes.
Excuse me, sir, you
Right.
have mixed some topics.
I have missed
Yes, sir. After January.
Janani. After Janani? After Janani, Sadamal. To everyone? After Janani, Sadamal.
No,
Future?
sir, I am.
No, sir. After Janani, Mahesha.
No. In my chat box, it is not shown.
Sir, you have to refresh it. That is how that goes. The chat
Yeah.
box.
Refresh it.
Yes, kind of.
I'll come, right? I'm sorry. I'm talking to Mahesha now. Mahesha?
Okay, sir.
Impact of group work on the development of speaking skills amongst. Okay, fine, Mahesha.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Right, okay. Chandima?
I'm
Wait, I'll
Okay,
speak
sir.
to you. Chandima?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, effectiveness of selected activities on the development of listening skills. Okay, fine.
Sir, I thought of
Mani?
using.
Sandamali?
Yes,
Sandamali?
sir. Yes,
Yeah, impact of attendance on language proficiency of lower secondary students. Impact of class attendance. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
Mulisha, impact of reading simple stories on development of vocabulary.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, right. Nisha Idrisinga, the effect of
Yes.
yeah, story based
Syllabus.
not syllabus activities. Ne?
Yes, sir.
Activities on development of development of second language proficiency.
Second line, yes, sir.
Proficiency among secondary students.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Vasana,
Yes, sir.
effective strategies for teaching pluralized nouns acts among effective strategies for teaching pluralization of nouns
Okay, sir.
among grade 7 students, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Maheshi, impact of teachers' role on grade students, 6 students, English language learning process, right? Okay. Chaturika, effectiveness of selected activities on the development of
The knowledge of
irregular verb formations. Irregular verb formations. Or no, formation of irregular verbs.
formation.
Otherwise,
Sir,
it's a
can you repeat
different
it?
meaning. Formation of irregular verbs, right?
Formation of regular
Verbs. Okay. Knowledge is not necessary, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Ishara. Ishara? No. Ishara is not there, no? Yomali?
Yes, sir.
Yomali?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'll take study on the pronunciation problems faced by the Sinhala speaking English learners. Sinhala speaking English learners. Sinhala speaking English language learners. Okay.
Yes,
Other part is not necessary. When learning the sector, that is not necessary, right?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Ransa, how are you going to enrich the Ransa? No. Rasak, no.
Yes, sir, Rasna.
Right. Ransa, how are you going to develop the pronunciation skills?
Through interactive activities, sir.
Right. Then write down the topic.
Okay, sir.
Impact of interactive activities
Okay, sir.
on the development of pronunciation skills
Okay.
among second language learners.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. In the very,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
in
sir.
which method we cannot use open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are good for qualitative, not for quantitative. Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Keshini, MCQ questions are qualitative. Yeah. Not qualitative, quantitative, Keshini. MCQ.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Nadya,
Yes, sir.
Paliyavadana? No.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Ability of identifying WH questions using language games. Enhancing the ability of comprehending WH questions. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sepali,
Yes, sir.
impact of selected teaching strategies on
Developing.
no, on pluralization of nouns. Okay, you can use the ability. Impact of selected teaching strategies on the ability to use pluralization of nouns among second language learners. Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Kudaligama? No.
I'm here, sir.
Yes. Impact of motivation on academic performance in the English language. Motivation on the academic performance in the English language. Okay. Good, Kudalingam.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Ashra?
Yes, sir.
How are you going to improve?
Through some activities, sir.
What are the activities? Write down. Okay.
Okay.
Effect of selected activities. Effect of selected activities on improving the ability of using subject-verb agreement in simple present forms.
Okay, sir.
In
Thank you.
simple present forms. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Diluni?
Yes, sir.
Impact of language activities on development of tense construction.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good. Sanduni?
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, impact of YouTube videos on language proficiency among students in primary grades.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is it okay?
On second language proficiency,
So can you repeat, please?
Impact of YouTube videos on second language proficiency. Ne?
Okay, so second
Okay,
language.
good.
This second language proficiency among.
Students in primary grades.
Sir, if my sample I have taken from an international school, is it okay, sir?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Priyadarshini,
Yes, sir.
improving the ability of building up simple sentences using. How are you going to improve?
Through activities and
Then
the usage.
impact of selected activities. Impact of selected activities.
Okay.
On
Okay, sir.
On simple present tense constructions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sandamali, you have given that topic, okay, no, second time, ne? Sandamali, okay, I have told you, okay. Geesha, effect of
Yes, sir.
listening. Yeah.
Sir, I have discussed my topic already with you. Sir, I
Yeah,
just want to check my objectives. Can you please check my objectives whether they are correct or wrong? Shall I read them, sir?
No, reading it is difficult. If you can send me an email, fine.
Okay, sir, sure. And
Okay.
I want to discuss about my conceptual framework also, whether it is correct or not.
You send it.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Sir, can I
Right.
have your email address then? Or shall I ask it from the coordinator?
Right. Yeah, fine. Okay.
Okay, I will. Okay, I will
Okay.
check with
Okay.
coordinator. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Geesha, effect
Yes,
of
sir.
listening skills on development of second
So
language
it's me. I
speaking.
have discussed my subject with you, title with you.
Okay, Geesha, fine. This is okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right. Identify errors in essay writing made by Azima. Azina? Yeah. Error analysis
Okay.
in essay writing I'm sorry, analysis of errors. Analysis of errors in essays
Okay.
written essays produced by grade 10 students. Okay.
Sir, can you repeat?
Analysis of errors in essays
Essays.
written by students, written by grade 10 students. Okay.
Analysis of in written essays.
Analysis of errors.
Errors in written essays by grade 10 students.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Shafra. Shafra.
Yes, sir.
The influence of learning teaching aids in improving descriptive writing skill among second language learners. Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Sutarshini?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, effectiveness of teaching pronunciation using phonetic sounds amongst English medium students in primary grades.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, right. Ratnayak?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah, effectiveness of guided reading materials and strategies on development of reading comprehension among second language learners of grade. Among second language learners. That is enough.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Lasanti? Lasanti? No. Chandima Gajanayake? No. Ashra? Ashra? No. Hashiba?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, impact of online teaching on students' academic fine. Okay, Ramsa, right? Ramsa.
Okay.
Okay. Asanka? Asanka? No. Kalupahana? No. Diluni?
Yes, sir. It is the topic of my friend. The topic is
No. Your name?
her name is Viradi.
Huh?
Her name is Viradi. She sent me the message.
No. I am taking the chat messages.
Okay.
Chat message.
Okay.
Asanka Diluni? No. Jayavardhan?
Yes, sir.
Impact of using smart room on development of language proficiency.
Okay, thank you, sir.
On development of second language proficiency, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Diluni, send me the chat message. Otherwise, I am unable to listen to any topic and approve.
I sent it,
Okay.
sir.
Effect Vikramasinghe?
Yes, sir.
Effectiveness of multimedia audio visual aids. Multimedia based
Video clips, audio clips.
Multimedia audio visual aids. Okay, fine. No issue, right? Okay. Ramsan, again, same topic. I think I spoke. Diluni? Diluni?
Yes, sir.
Effectiveness of selected activities on development of basic grammatical patterns among students in lower secondary classes.
Okay, sir.
Right? Among learners in lower secondary classes. Okay, I think I have answered all. So I will end the session. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, sir.